Hello everyone and welcome to my CSU channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Todd Chrisley fears for wife Julie Chrisley's health and welfare while she remains in prison. Todd Chrisley is worried about wife Julie Chrisley's well-being as she remains in prison. The couple's attorney, Jay Sargent, shared in a statement to the New York Post that Todd, 55, is extremely disappointed and dissatisfied after a judge ruled that Julie, 51, will continue to serve her original 84-month sentence. Todd is also concerned about Julie's health and welfare, especially after she suffered from a serious health problem. Details about Julie's condition were not disclosed by Todd nor their attorney. However, Todd and Julie's daughter Savannah Chrisley revealed on a March episode of her Unlocked podcast that her mom learned she could possibly have a tumor. During the episode, Savannah, 27, read letters aloud from Julie. "I walked in thinking it was gynecology. I sat down with the doctor and she proceeds to tell me that my AK level was high, 10.2. This is a pregnancy hormone. It should not be that high," Julie wrote to Savannah. "If it were a little higher, I would test positive on a pregnancy test. Since that's not a possibility, it could be a sign of a tumor." The message continued, "I literally fell apart. How can this be happening? I'm going to have blood work redone and get a scan. I've not told anyone and I'm not going to until I know what's going on. I'm so scared. I just want my husband. I don't know if I can do this without him." Savannah has not given an update on Julie's health status since. Julie also previously battled breast cancer. In 2012, she had a double mastectomy and followed by a hysterectomy the next year before going into remission. Late last month, Julie appeared in court for her resentencing hearing. Us Weekly confirmed that the judge of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia ruled that Julie's 84-month sentence was sufficient. Savannah and her brother Chase Chrisley were present in the courtroom. Earlier this year, the case was sent back to the lower court after the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals concluded that there was no evidence Julie was involved in the entire bank fraud scheme dating back to 2006. Todd and Julie were indicted on charges of tax evasion, bank and wire fraud, and conspiracy in 2019. Despite maintaining their innocence, the Chrisley Knows Best stars were found guilty in June 2022. Julie received 7 years behind bars, which was later reduced by 14 months. Todd, for his part, was initially sentenced to 12 years in prison, but was later shortened to 10 years. In January 2023, Julie and Todd began serving their time at Federal Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky, and Federal Prison Camp Pensacola in Florida, respectively. From flashy designer labels and real estate riches to jumpsuits and locked doors, Todd and Julie Chrisley's fall from grace has been nothing short of a reality TV tragedy. Now, months into their respective prison sentences, sources close to the Chrisley family are revealing the emotional toll their incarceration has taken, especially on Todd. Despite his own dire situation, insiders say Todd is increasingly consumed with fear over Julie's health and well-being behind bars, leaving him deeply rattled and emotionally frayed. "He's not the same Todd anymore," a family friend confides. "Todd always had that showman flair, but now all he talks about is Julie. Her safety, her health, her spirit. He's afraid prison is breaking her." A love tested behind bars. The Chrisleys were once the epitome of Southern charm with a comedic twist. With their lavish homes and over-the-top lifestyle, the couple built a media empire until the walls came crumbling down following their convictions for bank fraud and tax evasion. Now serving a 12-year sentence at FPC Pensacola, Todd has tried to maintain a sense of purpose. But according to insiders, his thoughts remain fixed on Julie, who's serving a 7-year sentence at the Federal Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky. Julie was always the rock, the source says. Even in court, she was the one holding Todd's hand, whispering, "We'll get through this." But now, Todd doesn't even know if she's holding herself together. And that's what has him spiraling. Worries over Julie's health. Even before entering prison, Julie Chrisley was facing serious health challenges. She'd battled breast cancer, undergone a double mastectomy, and dealt with complications that left her physically and emotionally fragile. While the Federal Medical Center where she's housed is designed to handle inmates with health concerns, Todd reportedly believes the system, says the insider. He's terrified that Julie's medical needs aren't being properly met. And because they can't talk as often as they used to, every missed call sends him into panic mode. Todd's fears are reportedly growing worse after hearing rumors from other inmates and sources on the outside, suggesting that Julie's demeanor has shifted, becoming more withdrawn and emotionally disconnected. He's used to Julie being the glue that holds everything together, the source explains. Now he worries she's unraveling, and there's nothing he can do from where he is. Fighting for connection. With strict visitation schedules, limited phone calls, and censored letters, Todd and Julie's ability to stay in touch has been deeply compromised. For a couple that once shared everything, from parenting to business ventures to public appearances, the emotional chasm has been excruciating. He feels helpless, the friend says. This is a man who once controlled every aspect of his family's life. Now, he can't even check on his wife's well-being without permission. Even the couple's children have noticed the toll it's taking on their father. On a recent podcast episode, their daughter Savannah Chrisley admitted that both of her parents are struggling in ways the public doesn't see. "They try to be strong for us, but I know it's eating them up," Savannah revealed. "Dad's always been protective of Mom, knowing she's not feeling her best and he can't be there. That's destroying him." Legal hopes and desperation. Despite multiple appeals in motion, the Chrisley's legal team has made little headway in reversing their sentences. Still, Todd clings to hope, and sources say much of that hope is wrapped up in his desire to get Julie out sooner. He's told people, "I can handle this," but Julie doesn't belong there, the source shares. He's pushing hard on the legal side, filing paperwork, talking to lawyers, begging for updates, anything to shorten her time. That desperation reportedly grew after hearing that Julie had suffered what was described as a minor health scare in recent months. Though the incident was not officially confirmed, it has been enough to push Todd into overdrive, trying to advocate from within the prison system. He's even started writing letters to officials, the source adds. He wants the world to know that Julie's being punished beyond the sentence. He sees her suffering as unjust, and he's willing to shout it from his cell if he has to. Holding on to faith, despite the pain and separation, one thing that hasn't wavered for Todd is his faith. The once controversial reality star, now more humble and reflective, has leaned hard into prayer and spiritual practice during his time behind bars. Todd believes God has a plan, even if it hurts right now, the insider says. But that doesn't mean he isn't afraid. He prays every day that Julie makes it out whole. Their shared Christian values have long been central to their relationship. Now, they're the emotional lifeline keeping their love afloat. Prison chaplains at both facilities have reportedly witnessed the couple's commitment firsthand, with both Todd and Julie attending services regularly and requesting spiritual counseling. A message to the world. Todd may not be able to speak to the media himself, but he's found ways to get messages out through family and friends. And if there's one message he wants the world to hear, it's this: don't forget Julie. According to sources, Todd believes that the media focuses too much on him, his persona, his prison adjustment, his antics, and not enough on Julie's quiet suffering. He wants people to know she's a mother, a grandmother, a survivor, the friend says. She deserves compassion, not just punishment. Whether or not the justice system agrees remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: behind prison bars, Todd Chrisley's swagger has given way to sorrow and a relentless, aching concern for the woman he calls his soulmate.